Hi all, Igor Ekimov is with you. In this video we will look at another error of the Ariston Uno boiler. The red LED is burning. A red LED is usually a flame error. The boiler automation does not see that there is a fire in the combustion chamber. The boiler starts, the fire lights up and immediately it goes out, and the red LED lights up. This is usually a problem in the combustion chamber. Let's deal with it first. This may be of interest to owners of boilers of other brands, since the situation is typical. Another case is when the boiler clicks for a long time, and then the red LED lights up. In this case, it is turned on by the boiler automation, and I will deal with this problem a little later in this video. I reset the boiler with the reset button and, as you can see, it began to work as usual. But if this error is not corrected, it will appear more often. So it's better to fix it now. Let's remove the boiler casing and see what's causing this. A few words on how to remove the boiler casing. Here, there is a lever. We pull it, loosening the fastening of the casing. Now we take out this hook, and the boiler casing is disconnected. We have 4 such mounts in total, 2 on top and 2 on bottom. So I removed the casing. Now let's turn on the boiler. Are we watching how the boiler works? The pump turns on, the fan turns on. The ignition works, the boiler lights up. And as you can see, it doesn't turn off. What could cause a flame error? At the moment it turned off because it was initially heated. But why might it turn off? Firstly, if there is no gas supply to the boiler. Secondly, if gas is not supplied to the combustion chamber. Third, if the ignition does not work. And fourth, the flame sensor does not work, and this is exactly our case. When the flame sensor gives an incorrect signal, the automation decides that there is no combustion, and turns off the gas supply, and generates an error, and displays it in the form of a red LED. What could cause the flame sensor to not work? The first is if there is insufficient signal coming from it. Or the second, if it is incorrectly interpreted by the boiler automation. In our case, most likely the problem is with the sensor itself. Let's turn off the boiler, remove the combustion chamber cover, and see why it doesn't work. To remove it we need to unscrew 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. But before that, turn off the boiler and wait for it to cool down. On my channel, in addition to videos about boilers, you can find videos about electrics, plumbing and repairs. So, subscribe to the channel and press the bell. Special thanks for your likes and reposts. I turned off the gas and electricity by pulling the plug from the socket, so that the phase was definitely disconnected. Here are 2 electrodes. This is the ignition electrode, this is the flame sensor. And, as you can see, it is whitish, there is scale on it. And, as you can see, there is scale throughout the combustion chamber. What will I do now? I will clean the scale from both electrodes. And I will vacuum both the combustion chamber itself and the entire boiler. Please note that I pasted several layers of electrical tape here in case there was no electrical penetration, especially in the high voltage ignition electrode of the boiler. I vacuumed the boiler chamber. I cleaned the electrodes with a cloth and alcohol. Now we close the boiler chamber. Put the combustion chamber cover in place. I draw your attention to these latches, they must be in place. So I turned on the gas, connected the electricity. I turned on the boiler and it works as expected. That is, we carried out preventative maintenance on the boiler by cleaning the combustion chamber. And I recommend that you keep the combustion chamber of the boiler clean. 2 weeks have passed. After cleaning the combustion chamber and flame sensor, the boiler stopped turning off when ignited. But another problem remains. Several times a day the boiler freezes and the red light comes on. Imagine. You are in the shower and the hot water turns off. And to turn it on, you need to get to the boiler, which may be located far from the shower. Boilers usually have a coolant pressure sensor. And when the coolant pressure drops, the boiler turns off and the red LED lights up. But this boiler does not have such a sensor. The peculiarity of this boiler is that it measures the temperature of the coolant before and after the heat exchanger, protecting the boiler from overheating of the coolant and lack of flow. If these sensors do not work correctly, there may be a boiler error. I will replace these temperature sensors for preventive purposes. It is mounted on 2 self-tapping screws and connected using connectors. I left a link to the store where I purchased these sensors at the lowest price in the description. This is what the new sensors look like. The fastening method is different here, but we will remove this latch and secure them with self-tapping screws. Another 2 weeks have passed. After replacing these sensors, the boiler no longer freezes and the red light does not light up. Even if it sometimes restarts, it returns to normal operation on its own. I checked these sensors with a multimeter. They give correct readings. This case shows. Sometimes it is easier to replace an old part with a new one if problems arise with it. It is not always possible to determine the malfunction of parts using measuring instruments. If you have any questions, write in the comments. On my channel I have not only videos about boilers, but also about electricity, plumbing and repairs. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos. Share this video with those who find it relevant. Like and see you in new and old videos.